Welcome to the Jira Life, the place to find news, events, and interviews with the Atlassian Community's movers and shakers. Join our hosts, Alex, Dr. Jira Ortiz, and Rodney, the Jira guy Nissen, as well as the Jira Amigos in the Peanut Gallery, as we sit down and discuss the latest going on in the Atlassian ecosystem. Because we didn't choose the Jira Life, the Jira Life chose us.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
I've got a rogue window somewhere that is playing the podcast, so I am hearing double right now.
As you should. I think for the first time, I feel dumb that I may have just noticed this, but was that King Bob that recorded the intro and outro? Like, is that his voice?
No.
That is.
Okay.
No.
Wait, what?
Not the
Someone
outro,
says
though.
no, someone says yes.
You said
is
not
Bob
the
the intro and someone else is the outro?
I've been told that the outro is somebody else.
Yeah, the outro is Rob from the community.
Rob Heen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
See? So, yeah. So
It's
yes
the
and
intro.
no. That's Bob.
That is okay. There we go. Thank you. That is okay. Maybe that's what it is. I guess I kind of thought they were the same, but also not. The intro is me. The outro is yes. Okay. So both Rob's bookending. Anyways, Bob, I did not know that you were the intro. I also didn't know Robert Heen was the outro. So all good things. Very exciting.
We did it. You ever watch that or hear about Steve Jobs did the Crazy Ones commercial back in the 90s? You know how Steve Jobs has a version that he recorded?
No.
Yeah, so
I did not know this.
So Apple did this commercial like, here's to the crazy ones, the risk takers, right? Yeah. But it's recorded by some voice actor. But Steve Jobs recorded one that never got released until like after his death or something like that. And so we have a version like that for when one of us is 6 feet under, we're gonna release the archives.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
There you go. You've got your own version.
We recorded
it. If I have anything to say, that's never seen the light of day.
You gotta have a little.
Oh, I'm just looking at the chat. Hi, friends. Oh my goodness, so many great friends here. Such a fantastic crew. We've got Andy here, Matt's here, Valerie's here. Oh my
Brittany
goodness.
does a couple of live streams, and she's a live stream expert now.
Yeah.
Do what I can. I try.
Where are you at in the world today?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm currently home actually, in my home setup, which I have like managed to not keep up as well as my camper setup, and so it's kind of funny that I feel like I'm sitting here at home in my house, and it's like I'm thinking like I don't love my lighting in here. I just put a lamp in here yesterday, and it's a little bit better, but like, yeah, I'm like I'm at home in the wide world of Baton Rouge.
I mean, they say there's no place like home, but once you start that traveling, it gets questionable what is considered home.
Exactly. Is my camper home? Is my desk home? Home is where the heart is. I don't know.
I heard it a really good way once, but I don't know how appropriate it is. But now that Andy's here, I'll probably say it because I think Andy would get a good laugh. Andy,
Andy is here.
What is
What's up, everybody?
What is the definition of home for you, Andy?
Wherever I lay my hat.
There you go.
So
I don't know. I've always felt home is where your people is.
I also do believe in home is where the heart is. Right now, that heart is in Milan, and it's going to go watch Stray Kids K-pop band tomorrow night. So home, I don't consider Milan my home, so I don't know if that one's true. But
which theme park were you at yesterday?
Toverland in Holland. It's about 20 minutes down the road from me. So yeah.
So my buddy said that home is where you best pooping.
Home is where you're best pooping?
Mate,
yeah, like where you're most comfortable.
Your go-to place, yeah.
Where I can go. If I've got to go, I've got to go. So home is literally
anywhere. Yeah.
I've had a lot of homes.
Some of us don't have that hang up.
No, that's
I grew up.
That's good. I've got a lot of homes all over the world if we're going based on that.
You should have a Trello board where you have a card for each place you've had a poop.
But that goes on to what we were talking about the other day when I asked you if we can figure out how to do poop confetti.
Yes, exactly. Still working on that one.
I opened up Pandora's box over here.
You did.
Let's
You can't close it.
Pandora's
so today we actually have a special episode because we are not the Jira Life, in spite of what the intro said. I believe it is a hard, fast rule written in somewhere in our Confluence that every time Brittany is on, we become the Trello Life. Am I wrong, Alex?
Whenever Brittany's here, it automatically becomes a Trello Life.
Honestly, that's true of pretty much everywhere. That just I exude Trello. It's like the other day, was it in the Trello Trailblazers? We were somewhere and someone was like, "Don't say Jira 3 times or Rodney shows up." I feel like if you say Trello 3 times, I show up. Like,
you know how many times I've explained to people? I'm like, I'll be on a team call or something. Like, are you the Jira guy? I'm like, no, that's my partner.
Yeah. Like, I'm Dr. Jira. It's different, okay?
Yeah.
I am a Jira guy, but not the Jira guy.
I thought Alex was Dr. Atlassian, or
no, it's just Dr.
Are you missing
Jira.
A few certificates?
I asked Dr. Valerie, a real doctor, if it was okay if I kept it. And she was like, "You're just a fake doctor, so you can keep it." So as long as I didn't offend the real doctor, I'm keeping it.
Sounds fair.
So you have the same certificate as Dr. Pepper?
I like that.
Bob is going so above and beyond his mature rating thing for the for the show. You'd be surprised. YouTube is quite forgiving on what it allows on YouTube.
Yeah.
Have you put that to the test?
No, we have not. There are certain words you cannot say on YouTube. I'm not going to go through them here, but
so we aren't monetized, so technically we can use all the words.
Yeah, true.
I was going to say, because when you submit something for monetization, you have to prove that it's. Yeah. What are you allowed to do for monetization? Like, are you allowed to say like the S word and the D word, or is it like nothing?
You can say them, but you just gotta click it that you said them.
Okay.
Also, there's some algorithm things that it doesn't like you to say them within like first minute or so of the video.
Okay.
Oh, interesting.
So every time Andy comes on the show, I gotta bleep him out on my main channel.
I'm not that bad. It only took your partner in crime 5 days to edit me out, Alex. The last time I recorded a video with you, right?
It was like half the interview was like bleep 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 bleep.
I love what Matt said as a response to Brittany, because he said the S word, like ServiceNow, and when Brittany said the D word, I thought, oh, data center.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Well, no, I was asking because yesterday I released my first video where I don't think it actually counts because I muted my audio and I added a bleep over myself and like a censor thing. Like, I was doing it mostly for the effect, but I said the F word in my video. And but again, I don't think it would count for I don't think it actually counts because I stripped that audio. So even if I didn't have my beep over it, like, that is not an audible where you would hear. If anything, I guess you could read my lips, but you couldn't even do that because I put the censored thing over my lips. So I was going for it for the effect. So it doesn't count, but it made me wonder, like, can I say the F word in my videos?
Fun fact. If you do want to use profanity, you can. Yeah. Maybe profound.
I think it's profane, but it's also profound. Yeah.
Yes, you can put like signs, like you can put it on the wall, and so you can put it in like my shirt can say it, and the algorithm won't catch it.
That's fair. Give AI another few more weeks of that. Andy is pointing out that there is no script today. Online Andy is like, we are really off the rails here. You can tell there was. I think we mentioned a few pre-talking points, but you can tell the banter is strong, and it's just really getting away from us here.
I swear there was something to talk about, no, Mike?
Yeah, well, if we're going down the route of being quite loose, it kind of segues nicely into Trello Trailblazers, really.
Yeah.
Nice. Good one.
Because I believe you guys did a thing yesterday.
Yeah, let's talk about the thing.
We had our kickoff event.
Were you there?
Rodney was not there. Alex was not there. But I mean, Andy, actually, yeah. These three were not here. This is a little rude now that we think about
This
it.
week has been a blur for me.
No, that's fair. I understand.
Like a Trello boycott.
A Trello boycott.
Well, I am anti-Trello, so even if I had time, I wouldn't have been there. I'm just kidding.
Well,
I
fine. Wait, are you
suddenly
actively
felt I
anti-Trello?
had to
I
be.
don't think I knew this. You're right, Bob. You were there. Sorry, we had the peanut gallery. Nobody on screen right now was there. And for that, they're all fired.
Yeah, I apologize. I was at the theme park.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
but
tough
Andy,
to compete with.
you have no excuse though. I was on a call with Andy, and he was like on the drop on the roller coaster on the call. He's like, "Go on, give me a second." Just hear Andy
surprises
yelling
me so little.
at the top of his lungs.
They're like, Andy, are you on a roller coaster? I was like, yeah.
Okay, Valerie is asking real questions here. What was the event and why wasn't I invited? We tried to broadcast it everywhere we could, so I apologize. Trust me, no one is more sad than me if someone didn't hear about this event. But
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't hear about it either. In all honesty.
Wow.
in all
Okay.
Oh,
honesty,
wow.
We got to work on
Wow.
that.
I was very hard to miss, like social
That was
media
everywhere,
wise
Alex.
and
We
the
even
blog.
posted
Yeah.
about
Did you
it.
not see my TikTok? I had a TikTok.
I saw
Um,
the TikTok. I saw your dog tattoos and all that other stuff that you had going on.
The whole, literally at the end, I said, we are
Literally
having
the
the
whole
kickoff
video
of the
is about
Trello
it.
Trailblazers, which is a new, see, there we go.
Yeah, but we're
Crazy Old
having
Man's
versus
John, right?
join.
Couldn't stop
I
hearing
didn't
about
see
it.
the join one.
See the join one.
Like
Oh,
I didn't
the,
see
like,
join now. Like I saw that it's coming.
Well, it was coming in like 2 days. Like, okay, sorry. There's lots of people who are like, what are you all even talking about? Let me set that stage here. We are talking about the latest, I don't know, there may be a new ACE chapter since we started ours, but we
It's
started a
very
new
latest Trello
chapter. Yes, it's the very first dedicated to Trello chapter. So just like the Jira Life is an ACE chapter, we've got now the Trello chapter. And it's virtual events primarily. We would love to do in-person events at some point. Watch, Mike gallivants around Europe and Asia. I'll gallivant around the US in my camper. But yeah, it's all about Trello. And so yesterday we had our kickoff, our first event, and basically invited folks to come join, and we did a poll kind of talking about, trying to understand what users wanted to see and painting some of our vision for what we're doing and kind of seeing what resonated. And yeah, pretty much I like the way Mike explains that. Like Mike managed to sound more poetic. I'm just like, I'm obsessed with Trello and we all want to talk about Trello, and Mike has a better way of, I feel like, explaining it. But our goal is to get the enthusiast. Use your words, Mike. Your words are more poetic.
It was kind of like an analogy that Trello is kind of like the unloved child of Atlassian, and we're the child that's popular with everyone else apart from its parents. So like we're there to get together all of those people who love Trello and want to join this cool club. So that's kind of what I was going down.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what it was. Now we can go back to bickering about who didn't hear it, who did hear it, why, how good my TikTok was. What?
What was the inspiration?
The inspiration was just bringing it all together, because Mike and I are already kind of doing our own sort of live streams and different sort of things. And like, we were like, let's just have like a concentrated medium for it and like try to bring together other Trello enthusiasts. Cause like, we're finding them all over the different corners of the internet. There are a lot of people who love Trello and are using it for super interesting ways and like wanting to learn more about it. And, I have a newsletter and YouTube channel, of course, but like Mike's also got people, and we're trying to like bring everybody together and have like a sort of central forum where it's not just, you're on my newsletter or you're not. Like, we have another way of keeping track of people and helping them. That sounds weird. We're not like actually tracking people, but like keeping in touch with people.
Yes, we are.
We are
definitely tracking people.
We are. Yes. If you joined the meeting yesterday, I'm yeah. But I couldn't see if you checked in. That's the tracking.
As a massive fan of Trello Trailblazers, like Ace Rotterdam's done some very successful Trello events over the years. I don't know if you guys remember. True. Yeah, we did an awesome one during Corona time with the one of the best power-ups in the world ever with Crumble.
Yes.
Yeah.
I found that banner the other day. You remember the Be Frightfully Productive? I had it behind me. Like, and I was like, whoa,
I've got it framed at home. Yeah,
yes.
We did a Halloween version. It was so awesome. Everyone got dressed up. We had like there we go.
Yes, Crumble.
The love for the Crumble. Just last December, we did a Christmas edition with Crumble and Plannyway as well. And it's amazing the turnout. I think it's some of our best virtual sessions. We get 20 to 30 people turning up all the time, new people, different people and stuff. The Trello love is strong.
It is.
Yeah, it is. Outside of Atlassian, it's really strong. Inside, not so much.
Yeah,
and historically, Mike and Britt might remember, but historically, before the acquisition, Trello had its own very strong community.
Yeah.
What happened?
It got acquired.
Reddit
was like, Trello's gonna fall apart, and they were like, Atlassian's gonna ruin Trello. Like, I don't know. A lot of people were stressed about that.
Well,
I mean, if we go to think about Trello, not all of us here has necessarily always been Trello fans. I mean, what did someone say to Trello during Team 23? Alex?
No, I wasn't Trello. It was Jira Work Management.
I've heard it the other way around.
Did you? I went to one of the PMs for Jira Work Management. I'm like, why do you exist?
Yeah, I mean, that was not the first or the last time they've heard that.
Well, they killed it off, so it doesn't exist anymore. So
Yeah.
It's all just Jira.
So you see, Trello and Jira people can agree.
By the way, just not to derail the conversation yet again, but we are approximately 2.5 months since Team at this point. And I remember distinctively Anu saying that in the next 2 to 3 months, we're going to do this whole Jira rollout. Should we start placing some bets? When is this actually going to roll out?
I think that's for next week's episode.
Spoilers. Come back, people. Come back.
Spoilers. Come back for predictions.
I don't know if you realize this, Alex, but today it's the Trello Life.
I know. That's why I didn't want to
not the Jira Work Management Life.
Okay. Then, serious question: how do you guys feel about like virtually no announcements during keynotes or anything?
It
Sad.
was expected.
Sad and not surprised. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sad and not surprised.
I mean, if it's not AI and it's not Atlassian cloud platform, it's not going to get any attention.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have AI like Jira does?
We do. It's not so. Interestingly enough, I don't know exactly how Jira has it, but right now in Trello, the AI features are pretty much just like generative AI, like in the sense of like inside a card description or comment, you can ask AI to like summarize it or like write something or reword something. So it's like there, but it's not. Yeah. And I know they are working on doing more with it. I can't remember now how much I meant to say about it and not, but I know they are working on some more stuff with that. Do you remember, Mike? I can't remember how much is like public knowledge versus
But what we can say is that we could just make stuff up now and say, oh, they're going to be doing this with AI for Trello.
That's true.
Here's my take on Here's my take on AI within Trello. So at the current rate, and everyone, if they've seen Config and Cruise with myself and Alex as part of Solto's nice little drive around Vegas, Atlassian Intelligence right now is nothing more than automation on steroids. So Trello doesn't need that version of AI for now because the automation's perfect and it has been for over a decade. And the reason there's no announcements or anything during keynotes about Trello is like, there's nothing to announce when you can't make it better, right? There's so many things you have to fix about Jira, and we don't want to turn every Trello takeover of the Jira Life into a Jira versus Trello, but like what, like if it ain't fixed, if it ain't fixed, if it ain't broke,
don't break it, or if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, if it ain't fixed, don't break it either. I like that version. I think to some extent, I kind of agree with what you're saying, and it makes me wonder because like. I am also very happy with Trello. Do I have feature requests? 1,000%.
Yeah,
do I have things I'm frustrated with? Sometimes, believe it or not. But all of the things that make it good far outweigh that for me, that it's still a really useful tool. And like, I don't know. And I feel like it's very easy to adapt and customize, and they have a really good API. So I've learned how to kind of like manipulate some of the things that I want to do. So I agree, like to some extent, like, anytime they add something in or change it, like more people are going to like it or, more people are going to hate it. Like, and I mean, I think that's the point is that, people want to see things. And so if you don't iterate on a product, it almost seems like you don't care about it. But also, if you iterate just for the sake of iterating, you might break something and annoy people. Yeah, I don't know. #labelgate.
What was the recent thing that people could not stand? I think it was something to do with labels, colors in Trello, right?
Yes. #labelgate. That's what I was saying. Yes, they added more label colors, and people lost their mind. I had never seen.
They really did. Wow.
Get someone who cares about you as much as people care about Trello labels. Like, there is no greater love. There is no greater love or passion than someone's care for Trello labels.
Yeah, it was horrific. I mean, it's like 12 pages on the online community of rants,
oh my
right?
God,
or something like that.
Yes, I had to stop watching it because I was getting way too emotionally invested. There we go. I thought it was super funny they made those stickers at Team. Yes. Yeah. I think that has mostly died down.
The other thing they've done, and I think they do this on all products, but they just quietly remove things.
The workspace.
Really, like there was one with labels where you used to be able to type in hashtag and the label name whilst you created the card.
Yeah.
The label, and they removed it. That caused a massive storm on them.
Yeah, or being able to say @Brittany to add that member to it, which I agree is useful to some extent too. But I mean, it's one of those things that I think. Having some experience developing things myself, I realize that there are often trade-offs when you do things, and something that you're like, oh, this should be such a simple thing to do, or because you did it before, you took away the functionality, when in reality, you probably had to rework the functionality of something to work for another thing and or just be more reliable. And so, yes, that broke this feature, but I'd rather something be more reliable, and it's probably not as simple as just reverting the code. Which also, that's what people were saying to do with labels. They were just revert the code back. And I'm that's literally not how this works. Okay.
You wonder if the Trello community is a little bit more intimate, smaller, right?
I think it's louder. I don't know if it's smaller. And I think it's a very passionate group. Maybe that's what I would
that's
say.
the word I would use.
It's a more passionate. Yes. They have strong feelings.
You're telling me it's different people there?
What, Alex?
You're telling me that the Trello people are different than the Jira people?
Definitely.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
no, we're saying we're different from you people.
Yes.
Hey, I'm both. I don't want to hear that.
I was pointing at Alex mainly, to be fair, Rodney.
I'm not a fan of Trello. Sue me.
Don't actually I can. I'm a Trello Trailblazer, so I think I legally have the right. Let me check with my partner who's an attorney, but I think I legally can sue anyone who's not a Trello fan. So I think that's just part of it.
I mean, at the very least, we kind of did steal Trellomies for one of our membership ranks. So they might have a case.
There's some collaboration. I mean, we were the Trello Avengers for our kickoff, so there's some collaboration in the space. There's room for that. I mean, I do think though that I'm seeing in the chat Andy's talking about Jira's suit and tie and Trello's jeans and t-shirts. I think that's kind of true, and Matt makes a really good point about budgets. I think in a lot of respects, Trello has, and Alex and I actually, had to talk about this too, where it's in a lot of respects, Trello is seen as, cute toy Trello. And it's Jira's the big serious thing. And I think to some extent, maybe that's true. Maybe it's not true, regardless, but I do think that's kind of part of it is that was one of my big takeaways from Team this year. Was when I spent so much time at the Trello booth, so many people came up and they were like, yeah, we use Jira, but I use Trello for my meal planning, or I use Trello to keep track of my personal projects. And it's just nobody has to use Trello. It seems you kind of get to use Trello and you have fun with it and you make it your own sort of thing and you use it for things that excite you. So I think it lends to a more happy audience. Whereas Jira's use this tool.
But how about that?
I think it boils down to use case here because this may be how I was introduced to Trello, but I was first introduced to it from a UX UI person who's hey, our team wants to use this. Can we integrate Trello so we can still get our status to the other teams, but use the tool we want? And this was back before the Trello acquisition.
Yeah.
And, inspired digging into it. I'm hey, this is kind of cool for creative people, for people who don't need the structure that Jira provides. So that's how I often use it as an assignment. It's if you're team that needs less structure because you're creative or something like that, go Trello. If you're a team that needs the structure because you're software development or some sort of engineering, go Jira.
I challenge that though. I challenge that massive, Styles, because I've worked for a company where one of their product division of 2,000 people did flawless software development and engineering with Trello.
I said it's not a hard and fast rule. There's always exceptions.
Yeah,
but...
I mean there is, But to Brittany's point, we're talking about passionate and loud Trello community. I think that a lot of people will gravitate more to Trello as something that they could do for their hobbies and stuff. And that was the whole point of Brittany's latest TikTok video. I've planned so many holidays and God knows what else using a Trello board. It is so handy. That said, like, to also contradict myself, like I was like, no, Rodney, I'm going to argue on that point about software development. But if you look at personal hobbies, I know people who use Jira to manage their Lego collections.
Yeah.
I think it's Kim from Ace Columbus, right? So she likes to have certain models out on display and the others will go away in storage. And I think she's, if I remember correctly from our talk way back at Team 23, she uses Jira to manage all of that stuff. So, it's tools of preference, right? So, yeah.
Just a little bit of a statistic from yesterday. We asked how people use Trello, and the poll came back as the options were business and personal, only business or only personal, and 21 said they use it for both, and only business was 6 and only personal was 4. So it seems like generally the audience there were definitely using it for both, and I think that's its big strength, is being able to like bridge work and play, basically.
Yeah.
I gotta throw my Trello is Jira is in here. Brittany, you and I talked about this in our chat. I said Trello is like 2D Super Mario World on the SNES, and Jira is like 3D N64 Super Mario 64. It's just different, but the same.
I think I'm going to borrow Bob's, but I'm going to change it. Jira is Batman, Trello is Iron Man.
Why in the world would you do Iron Man like that?
They're both basically the same thing. They're just different flavors.
Yeah.
We're skipping over, though. Somebody needs to check on Andy. Jira is cocaine and Trello is marijuana.
Yeah, what you got on that train?
I love the fact someone, was it you, Brittany, yourself?
Yes, that was me that said, did Fun Man Andy take over online Andy's computer? Like, I'm like, that feels like a Fun Man Andy thing, not necessarily
people haven't worked
Andy.
out how this whole online Andy, Fun Man Andy, alter ego stuff works. So
I know it's like you're all connected to the same brain, and
dude, that'd be funny if they were the same person.
I have something really controversial to say. Now we're talking about like comparisons of superheroes and human billionaires and stuff, but let's put it like this. Trello is a $425 million product, and Jira is a 10,000 Australian dollar product.
No, it's not.
That's how much they had on the credit card when they started the company and they started Jira. If you want to look at, which is the sweetest tool in the box, which one's the, if you go to the Batcave or Iron Man's,
But look at it today.
I'm just saying, origins, right?
Origins.
Origin. Well, I'm sitting here trying to think which is better. Like, which is better, 10,000 or 425 million? Like, you're talking about a valuation, I guess, but like what you have on the credit card is what you spend. So it's like, I don't know how much Trello spent to be worth 425 million.
I tell you something. Once Atlassian stopped telling me off for my public data center memes and stuff that I spread around the world, once all of Jira and the whole Atlassian stack is on cloud, there's a very obvious answer to that one. Like which one is, evaluations and stuff like that.
Oh,
and the shareholders are like this.
Well, I mean,
cloud.
I think that's part of the problem with Trello, to be honest. Like, I mean, we want to talk about like controversial hot takes here. I think it relates to why they're so passionate. I think Trello gave away way too much for too long. Like, it was a very good, very cheap or free for the most part. Like, you could do a lot with free Trello. And like, I think that's why so many people got on it, started using it. And we're so passionate about it.
It's like
and
$50, right, or something, wasn't it?
It's still way too cheap. If you look at there's not Jira in this category, but like if you look at the main alternatives like Monday and ClickUp, it's still like the cheapest by far. They could definitely. I did say this when they made the change to free. They could definitely put premium up by a few dollars, and I'm sure there'd be loads of people kicking and screaming. But that would be fair in my mind.
Can we all just agree that we just all don't like Monday?
Oh, yes, I think we can agree on that. Yeah, I'm happy to agree on that.
I got a funny story.
Me and Britt found the same.
I literally just got an email from ClickUp, and I just had to stop from rolling my eyes on camera when I got the email from ClickUp.
So I got a hello, we're still around.
Hold up, guys. So that shirt that Rodney's wearing, I got one of those, and I was doing one of my live trainings, so I'm wearing my Jira. I had to jump on a call with Monday.com immediately after. I did not have a single second to change. And I go on the camera and they're like, I'm just showing my chin up. And the lady's like, you okay? I'm like, you don't want to see my shirt. And she's like, what's your shirt? And I reveal like, I heart Jira. She's like, yeah, you can just turn off your camera.
What? Why? Surely they love Jira as well. They reverse engineered it and then launched a product. Like what do they not love about Jira?
I'm actually a Monday certified partner, so I shouldn't have said that.
Look at that.
To be fair, Mike, who isn't these days?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hot take dislike ClickUp less than I dislike Monday.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say hot take. I dislike ClickUp less than I dislike Monday, if that makes sense. Like it's always Trello for me.
I feel sorry for ClickUp. I think they try so hard and spend so much, and it's still just a buggy mess.
I just want to touch on what Mike said as well, though, about pricing plans and stuff like that. And I've got 2 points. I'll try and get through them very quickly and not take up too much time. First point is when the pricing plans were being announced and changed, and we came on to Jira Life to talk about it, the three of us, and then Britt and Mike did an amazing live stream about it all. And then Mike had that awesome infographic and everything to explain it. And then his point about it's not that expensive, actually, if you start making comparisons. A lot of the complaining was coming from social clubs or people who really, non-profits or something, that just could not afford to suddenly have their 75 guest members go onto multiple boards or whatever and stuff like that. So I didn't see many. I was really kind of like, oh my God, price increase, this and that, da-da-da. And then I sat down and I looked at it and was like, well, yeah, it kind of makes sense. I mean, even now, with the amount of members I have on Fun Inc.'s Trello workspace, we're not paying that much if you talk about good tooling that really works for us, integrated with Slack, Confluence, JSM, loads of other stuff is going on with AI and this and that within our Trello that keeps us efficient and functioning. That is a capital FUN, by the way, functioning properly. And then the second point was talking about expense and stuff. I think it's one of the cool consultants over at Idalco, Roy or Ron. I feel a bit bad. I've forgotten his name now. He did a comparison of Monday.com versus Jira, and then did some basic research on to run a good software team on Jira versus Monday.com, including maybe some applications and this and that and da-da-da. Something like your average user spend was $25 for Jira, but $60 for Monday.com. And then Monday.com had a lot of the automation.
Expensive.
It's expensive. Yeah, so to Mike's point, like Trello, it's still, I mean, okay, it's not the days of gold membership way back when, right. but very affordable for what it does. It's a very high value plan.
I think those people who were sort of saying, well, I'm going to have to move to something else. The point I'm really trying to make is I challenge you to go and move to something else and actually save money, because they wouldn't.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of people are like, I use Trello all the time. I don't want to have to pay for it. And I'm like, do you hear yourself though? I mean, I use my phone all the time and I pay for it. I don't know that I get it. But that's the point. It's and I think too, with a lot of these, pricing changes they made recently, they were being very intentional about not trying to hold anybody's boards hostage. You can always still view content on your board. So it's not like you're going to lose stuff if you had any of these legacy systems, but.
Yeah, I've got some legacy boards and it's fine.
Yeah.
It's read-only now, but we're fine with it. It's not an issue. It's not an issue.
Right.
You know what terrifies me most about the whole thing when we were going through this ordeal with the change of the free subscriptions when people said, I'm going to move to Microsoft Planner, it just made me shudder every time.
Those poor souls.
I haven't used Planner in years, and I don't think I ever will
No.
again.
I'm just thinking back, and I think this is more a culture problem because we've been spoiled for almost 20 years now with free Gmail, free social media, free this, free that. We're conditioned that if it's online, it should be free, and we pay with our privacy. That when someone's like, no, really, we actually need actual dollars.
Yeah.
People are like, wait, what?
What about ads in Jira or Trello?
I don't know if I'm allowed to share things, but let's just say that was maybe potentially, hypothetically, a thought of what could happen and got shut down. So not happening, but
right? It's a way to make it cheaper by running ads. I mean, so funny
and a lot of Jira. And a lot of those types of people I just mentioned as well, right? Like a social club or a soccer club or whatever, they'd be like, cool, I'll watch an ad for a minute if I can still use my
yeah.
They do it.
Yeah.
It's not a problem at all. I love the idea. I hate ads, so I would pay for my Trello.
Yeah.
Right.
People have different needs.
You know that Trello's been advertising Jira for the best part of a year now?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but Atlassian does put a lot of
Mike's part of that AB group and I'm not, but yeah.
Atlassian puts a lot of ads in Jira today, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yep. I just want to say real quick, because we didn't touch on Mark's amazing question, which was Slack releases a lists feature.
Yeah, I was going to say, I want to come back to that,
Yeah, that is a lightweight Kanban board. Do you think this will compete with Trello at all? I mean, for me, some people will use it, and what's the kind of competing? So Fun Inc. has a very strict way of working policy. So Confluence is content and everything where we're creating and we manage the content of projects. Trello is our day-to-day task management and where everybody, if something happens, there's a card for it. Slack is where we communicate. So if we need to ping back and forth, we don't do it in comments of Confluence. We don't do it in comments of cards. That's where main updates may happen. But everything's fully integrated. But so if you want to have a ping back and forth and you don't need to do it on a call, you just hit the button on the Trello card. It creates the Slack thread. You go straight to the Slack thread and you just start chatting away, and then it's all integrated so you can find the conversations back. So, and then tickets and stuff external comes in on JSM and it auto creates a ticket in our Trello board and stuff. So it's all like, will it compete for someone like us? No, never, because of the way we work. But it might. What's your take, Britt?
I mean, I haven't admittedly played with it a ton, but I think it's like everybody has a Kanban tool now at this point, and it's like pretty much what Andy was saying. Sure, it's probably going to work for some people because they literally just want a visual place to drag and move things around. I think Trello stands out from all of these other tools for a variety of reasons. One of which being that it's automation is very powerful, and I can tell you Slack will probably not get to that point anytime soon. So based on what I've seen with like their APIs as of now, like I can't imagine they're going to get anywhere near that. But also, you want to talk about pricing, like Slack is expensive. Like it is kind of wild to me how much you have to pay for Slack. Like I finally upgraded myself to a personal workspace of just myself as a user so that I could like external connect with other ones when I need to. But because that's a premium feature, but like, and I'm sure these lists are probably the same as well. Like I'm part of many free Slack workspaces, but like I have one for like Trello lovers and enthusiasts, and we have over 100 people in there, and I'd probably have to pay like $1,000 a month if I were to turn that into and I'm not paying $1,000 a month for like, and people are like, oh, maybe all of the features combined are worth it. I don't know, maybe. But also I understand why they like charge the way they do. So yeah.
From a business, maybe all the features are combined or worth it, but only if you're using the features. And when
like I wouldn't do it just
looking
for
at our Slack, we're like, what features are we actually using other than a place to chat in rooms?
Yeah.
And that's also where a lot of people in my career, when it's come to investments and stuff, especially from new products or whatnot, and people have gone, Andy, what should we do? It's like, well, what's your return on investment? It's not always like it's going to make you more money. It's like, how much more efficient does it make you? Are you saving time in one area so you can be more effective and functional in another? And Slack for us, the paid version premium is worth every penny, but we push it to its limits. So with those integrations, the auto syncing, connect our entire stack is connected there, so we can communicate.
We push it to its limits, but I can only name one feature.
Who was that?
I said, you push it to its limits, but you can only name one feature.
Well, yeah, that's because I hire people to do the nerdy stuff, right? So. I'm just a pretty face.
Yeah. That's what I tell people.
But again, it goes down to, are you using the features or not? That's really what decides whether something is worth it.
Well, why don't we bring that back to Trello? On the Trello Jira front, like, what features does Trello have that you would want over Jira?
What features does Trello have over Jira?
Yeah, like
there's a lot.
Like if I'm like I don't know, I'm a brand new startup and I need to pick Jira or Trello, and like what
I'd say, do you want people to use your tool or do you not? Because if you don't want people to use your tool, that's fine. Just get Jira and you'll pay a lot of money and like nobody will ever touch it. Or get Trello and people will actually not feel intimidated and go use it. That's a little bit of an oversimplification. I'm not trying to like shout on Jira, but if you're a startup and you're like, if you don't already have a compelling reason to use Jira, like, I need to use Jira because it has, I don't know, does this thing with GitHub, or this is what we used in a previous place that my whole team is used to. Like, if you have to ask, should I use Trello or Jira, then you probably should use Trello, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people who use Jira typically have a compelling reason why they use Jira. And I'm like, that's awesome. But if you're like, I don't know if I need Jira, then you probably don't need Jira.
I have loads of answers because I've used both for a long time. And for very good reasons, right? I'm not anti-Jira. I'm not necessarily more pro Trello than Jira. Definitely team managed projects, aka agility, aka next gen, that can go suck a massive D. But when it comes to what from Trello would I love to see in Jira, I really find it massively frustrating that you build a backlog and then you have to go off and build a board as well. And Trello is just, well, there's your board, build your backlog, and away you go. Obviously, you have your templates, and once you're used to it and stuff, you'll have templates and you can share board settings and this and that and blah, blah, blah. But the fact I can't start with a board just, I don't know, boils my blood when it comes to Jira. I don't know why.
Because you shouldn't start with the board.
Why not?
I've always recommended Jira for startups just because that 10 and under licensing. I mean, it's a drug dealer. Don't get me wrong. They're definitely trying to get you hooked early. So you keep paying the money when you do grow bigger. But when you don't have any money, you're trying to get something off the ground. It's a great price. But Trello, I've always liked the flexibility. The fact that if I had a picture, that card is now the picture. And that is great sometimes. If I need to add a due date to this, I could just add that. It's in there. I don't have to worry about going in. Okay, I need to make sure this field is set up for this issue type and this screen in this project with this specific project configuration. It's just there. Custom fields are very much the same. It's very much a smoother experience. And when time is money, that is great to have. And that's one reason why I say it's great for creatives is it is flexible enough to be what you need at the time you need it. And again, I say this, Jira does pay my bills. So I'm just saying this as a Trello fan.
I mean, Trello pays Mike's bills, so let's hear from Mike on the subject.
Yeah, maybe not enough. Yeah, I mean, any incentive for me to move over to Jira is it seems like consultants make a lot more money from it.
Yeah, true.
I think it was interesting to hear your comment about the speed of Jira, because I would actually put that as Trello's biggest selling point. Like, if you want to get something up and running quickly, like ready to use, I mean, Britt and I have done it when we've been on the call. Like, we've had something up in seconds, and then we're just off, and like that's massive, definitely. And also when I'm working, what's the value in that?
Yeah.
Being able to quickly do something and not spend 3 days building something.
Mm-hmm.
I think I feel a competition coming up. So Andy will put his old Scrum Master project manager hat on. I'm going to come up with a project, right? Nice little fancy UX with some good stories and epics and stuff like that. And then I think we have a Jira Life episode. We'll work out how we're going to do it.
Oh, I was going to do it right now. I was going to do it. We're not on this episode. I can build a board in 15 minutes. What you mean?
Alex, let's do this.
Alex can build a board in 15 minutes too. He can get your Jira all set up and everybody licensed and in there on there in 15 minutes, right? No problem.
Give me some time to prep though, because I really want to push because I know each system very well, and I'm going to have some other people help me. We're going to get, I feel a competition coming. Like, I feel like there's something.
You know what? For fun,
I just saw this comment pop up from John.
Yes, I know. It's like when you have to debate the side of the team you're not necessarily on. Like,
John's got it. That's the best.
Right, exactly.
Do the opposite.
Bob,
do the opposite.
Bob, I didn't start this fight. I'm going to judge. I'm going to let Alex fight this fight.
Hey, I just want to reiterate, I don't hate Jira. I felt like I came on a little bit strong with that. And it's like, if you sign up for Jira, your team won't use it. I did not mean that by any means.
You did it for the likes. You did it for the share.
I did it for the likes. Did I get some? Did I get some?
You got loads of likes.
It's probably going to end up being a short on this channel, Brittany.
Yeah. When we cut it up and post it all over LinkedIn, we'll let you know.
It's fair. I just want to reiterate that, like, I think they have their own places, and I'm not here to convince anybody who's already using and successful with Jira to come use Trello. Like,
yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. But I do think it is valuable to be able to quickly get up and running with something, and I do think Jira has limits in that.
We're just gonna call it Trello fanatic joins the Jira guys and loses her marbles.
That's a good one. I have to say though, I am way faster at getting up and running with Trello than I am with Jira, and that does add value, especially for example, just the other week, a customer called up and I hadn't heard from them for a month, and they went, "We're ready to go. I'm signing the contract right now." And I was like, Jesus Christ, I am not. But we use Trello. The way I could just so quickly be like, boom, there's the project board, client delivery, it connects to Confluence automatically, blah, blah, blah. If that was Jira, genuinely, it would, if it was me, not the sysadmin, for me, it would be several hours before I was like, right, let's get going, etc., etc.
I won't derail it until we have this competition, but the value of Jira is the structure, right?
Sure.
Just because you can do something.
Absolutely. No arguments there.
Right, so just because you can do something.
I'm not saying every time you build something, you need to build something fast instead of right. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the answer of what is right is sometimes not needed. Like, for instance, I don't need a Ferrari to get down the street, or like maybe a better example is like, I don't need an 18-wheeler semi truck to pull my camper. I can. It's not going to hurt anything, but like, aside from my pocket and many other things would be impacted by that. But it's, you know what I mean? It's overkill for various things. And I think that's all I meant to kind of say with it is like, it may not entirely, and kind of like Mark's saying, like, if you don't know if you need Jira, then maybe, don't go buy a semi truck. Maybe start with like a normal pickup truck first and see if that fits your needs. And if you're like,
a tricycle?
Did you say tricycle?
That analogy makes me think. I used to always say that Trello was the most agile tool available, and your analogy kind of makes that fit, really.
Okay, so if Trello is the pickup and Jira is the 18-wheeler, what's the Cybertruck?
Oh my gosh, Monday.com.
Right. I was about to say
Monday.com. The only thing we can all agree on here.
Yeah.
I was gonna say what more appropriate thing would be to do like a. Those things for the children where you build bicycles. Like, it'd be so cool. The Trello community comes together to build like tricycles for kids.
Yeah.
I did not know this was a thing you can do, but sure, yeah.
Yeah, like
Tricycles?
very similar to oh boy, Bill Fox's like the thing that he does with the bears.
Oh
There's,
yeah,
like,
I didn't know
I've
people
been
were
to like
building
Microsoft
tricycles,
conferences
but
where
yeah.
you build bikes for kids.
Yeah.
Cool. We could do that in Trello.
Yeah.
Trello trike. Well, it's Trello and then the tricycles.
Trello. Well,
speaking of Phil Fox, he does his on his road shows when he's traveling. He does his very famous super fast setup of JSM.
Yeah, 5 minutes or less.
Yeah, and I think what was the record at Team 24 this year? I've forgotten her name now.
I missed it because I was at the Trello booth.
Yeah, I missed it as well. Somebody went faster than Phil this year during the big competition.
It because I was recording a Jira Life episode.
Yeah, maybe he's online. I know it's like 10 p.m. But anyway, yeah. So if you talk about speed and efficiency, if you know exactly what you're doing, you could be very fast with either. And to be honest with you, does it really matter? No, because again, it comes always down to what I say all the time, and I can't believe I don't have a T-shirt yet of it. But a fool with a tool is still a fool. So like, you know what you're doing.
It's not speed, but it's effectivity.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, and to that same point, if you have a bad workflow, it doesn't really matter if you're using Trello or Jira. Like, it really doesn't. Like, it's more about, as much as I do think Trello is a great tool for so many people come to be like, is Trello going to fix this thing that I have? And it's like, no, that sounds like a workflow problem you probably need to fix. Like Trello, all of these tools are just going to enhance whatever you're doing. And it lends itself more naturally to certain things. But if you have a bad workflow, then none of these tools are going to fix
it. It's going to enhance what's there. So if you have something bad, it's going to enhance the bad parts.
Yes.
If you have something good, it's going to enhance the good parts. It's same with any tool.
Yeah.
So, Alex, going back to your original question, what can Jira take from Trello? I would say nothing. Because
we don't need it. Don't worry.
It's not overcomplicated.
We have a backlog of like 1,000 items that need to be added to Jira, anyways.
Yeah, exactly. You focus on that stuff.
Does Trello have like a public roadmap and all that good stuff like Jira does?
Not anymore.
So sort of. There is a Jack page. There is like features on there, but I don't know how.
That's like the issue. Is that the issue tracker though, or is that like?
Yeah, but
because I know they have the old board.
Yeah, that's still going around. So they used to have a board a long time ago that had all, and the public roadmap in Trello was a great idea. But I did suggest that they bring it back, and it doesn't really go anywhere. But they do have, that's the one.
So for those not in the know, because Mike just used an acronym that a lot of people probably don't know. When he says Jack, he means Jira.Atlassian.com, which is Atlassian's public bug tracker.
Yeah. Not Jack in the Box, which is where you go get tacos.
No. Did anyone see my recent Twitter post about Jack?
Twitter?
No.
I haven't been on Twitter in months.
I use that famous meme where it goes, there's the younger child, there's the mother, there's the one drowning, and then there's the skeleton at the bottom of the ocean underneath. And I went, AI, Atlassian, user experience, Jack. And Atlassian was like, yeah, this one made us laugh.
That meme has been getting a lot of mileage here lately.
Yeah.
We need to go find this. I haven't been on Twitter in so long.
Same.
You know what we need to do?
I've turned. Do you know what I've worked out about Twitter, and that's why I use it loads? It is the best place to rant about stuff. It's turned into like live Reddit or something.
Live Reddit.
Yeah. I was talking about like how Funink has. Okay, well, this is why we use Slack and Confluence and right? We have our way of working. Social media is this now. So LinkedIn is the more serious post. I'm a business person. Twitter is ranting. Instagram's a lot of fun and whatever. TikTok's just TikTok, right? I mean, like, however you want to describe it. So social media really has this interesting social hierarchy, and it works. It really works. Like following that rule of like, which platform were you on? Oh, you're on Twitter. All right, you're just going to rant about the latest American... there we go. That's the one.
I just logged onto Twitter for the first time in like months, and I have an ad, and then the very next thing is literally Andy's tweet here. So that shows when I am on Twitter, you are up top of my algorithm.
Yeah, there we go. Love it.
You know what we need to do? We need to get Dave, the mayor, and Michael Pryor in here, like battle it out.
Oh yeah,
Head of Jira
hilarious.
versus head of Trello.
I think Mike's still on his big sabbatical, isn't he? At the moment, I think. Yeah,
Come on the
so.
trip. Even more reason to have time to come on the Jira Life.
Absolutely, yeah. I have to say, King Bob needs to work out the next available slot for the Jira Life versus Trello Trailblazers, and we see Alex try and build a project in Trello and Britt build in Jira. That would just be insane.
I'm down for this. Can we get this in the books? Like, seriously, let's do this. Like, it would be fun to have like a series of challenges and be like, because I to be fair, I do think there's plenty of things that Jira would do a whole lot better. And I'm not saying I would win. I think it would be fun to see though, because I've often wanted to show like, how would you build this in Trello versus Jira?
Yeah. Have the community say, hey, solve this problem for us, and then we each hit it the way we would with our tools.
That's a great idea, and I think we should do it.
Isn't there a import from Trello function in Jira? You could just build it in Jira and then import it into Trello.
There you go.
I don't want to
ground story.
That would be so funny.
Build it in Trello and then just ship it over.
Yeah.
The end of the day, now we'll comment. I still think we should do that, and then let's get Dave and Michael on here.
Yeah. Bob wrote, is it still tweets for X? And I think at one point they tried to make it kisses. Like, oh, I'm sending my kisses. And it just fell flat on its face. Because it was like
a lot
XX.
that certain billionaires tried to do over at Twitter that is just kind of fallen flat.
Yeah. But to be fair, I don't know if you can believe all the blogs and all the news articles, but there was a lot wrong with Twitter before Elon Musk muscled his way in, and
I bet
people, it's almost like the Jira and the Trello discussion. I mean, you can argue both sides if he did any good for the company, but I'm not going to lie. I think Twitter was going under massive style, lost its way. Instagram had come in and just gone boom. We're now the big latest and greatest, and Musk just went, This is how it's going to be from now on, whether people like it or not. A bit like Marmite, you either love it or hate it. But I think, what did he say recently? Maybe, was it the Joe Rogan podcast? It was one of those things, he's always being interviewed on the podcast. And if I remember correctly, he'd said it was all about ensuring that, we still have is it the fifth? What's the freedom of speech? Fifth Amendment? No.
Yeah. First Amendment.
First Amendment. How could I forget the first? He's like, keep America with its First Amendment, and he just gave the platform its voice back. So that's what he wanted, and he did it.
Him.
Oh yeah, but that's a billionaire. Like, billionaires have that prerogative, right? So
like, he shut down that plane tracker real quick.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech my butt until Elon Musk is inconvenienced by it.
I have to say, there's a few interviews actually though where he talks about the environment and the future of mankind, and I don't know, I can't work out if he's just like lying for the sake of lying or he's genuinely sincere. But when people get him onto the topic of the future of humanity and how AI is being misused and stuff, there is a weird concern in his eyes that's like, he genuinely seems quite worried about where we're going and how we'll end up and stuff.
Well, that's why the whole AI stuff, right? Like, he helped start OpenAI because his best friend from Google like stole the guy from what was it, DeepMind or whatever, and then Google bought them and then started their own AI division, and then he went to go start OpenAI so that Google wouldn't kill the world.
Yeah. That's crazy.
AI, man, it's a scary thing, but it makes great jokes.
They're just bored billionaires competing with each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we got to set up our dates then so that we solve your business problems using Jira or Trello. And then for real fun, like once this goes public and we have a lot of fun with it, we got to go get like somebody from Monday and like click up, like really put them head to head. Go.
Yeah.
So then we've got the Trello Takeover 3, the showdown plan, and then Trello Takeover 4 is going down.
I think. Do you know what we should do? We should literally just the Jira Life, is Monday.com any good? And we'll all just like, I've never used Monday.com, so it'd be very funny to be like, Andy, start a whole project, away you go. Like that could be could be a good fun episode.
You laugh, I mean, I have to jump on these calls with Monday at least once a month, and man, they're the most awkward calls because I'm like so angry in these meetings with them, and they're like, "Where's this hostility coming from?" I'm like, "You're not Jira."
Why do you have to get on calls with Monday.com?
I take.
I can't tell you in public. I'll send you an IM.
So Alex, are you worried about Monday service at all?
No.
Simple answer.
Yeah, no.
I have to say, there is one tool that is the ultimate terrible tool of all time, and that's Basecamp. And I once was with a customer, we were doing a big consulting project, and they just refused to use any tool we suggested. They said, no, we're a Basecamp company. And we ended up giving, it's really funny, 2 of us spent about 3 weeks at the beginning of the project, myself and I think 2 other guys. We spent a lot of time working out how this tool worked. And then we discovered the company wasn't using it properly themselves. And we actually sent them a contract to sign for us to train their people how to use it properly.
How to use Basecamp. How to use
Shortcut? Shortcut.
I don't hate Basecamp.
I don't hate Basecamp. Shortcut's not bad either.
Really?
I've only used it very limited.
I've been trying to use Shortcut for like the last 2 weeks. I'm like, which way is up here, folks? I can't find any. It makes no sense to me.
But have you managed to shed your bias when you're using other tools? Like, I've tried to really say I'm going to give this the fairest opportunity, but then it would just do one thing, like one tiny little thing, and that's gone.
I'm going to have to be the bad guy here because as much fun as we're all having, the hour is done.
It's so sad.
No, Alex, we do have to cut it. I'm sorry to tell you.
And it just got good.
I got to do stuff. Eat dinner, make dinner.
Yeah. John just mentioned ClearQuest in the chat, so that's a topic for another time.
Rational. I know there are people in the chat who will love to talk rational all day long.
RTC.
Oh my god.
But that's the one that got me into Trello in the first place, actually.
You know what?
The company I was looking for needed Trello to manage their work, and they were just doing the rationale bit before the company's sake.
Oh my god.
I will tell you guys, TFS, FTW, man. I love Team Foundation Server. My first love.
Wow.
Now that's a take.
Yeah. I remember my first day on Jira. I was like, why do I have to change products to do the same? Like, why do I have to go to Confluence and then Bitbucket and then Crucible and then like Fisheye? In TFS, it's all in one place.
I've recently come across a very cool enterprise SaaS platform that's been around for 30 years, actually. It's called Friends without the I. And that does all of that, combining all of the data together, and you can just work from one place. My ultimate dream is for and it'll be really hard with the APIs and people making it available and stuff, but my ultimate dream is to just have one app on my phone for all chats, because I have several friends who are like, oh, I use Signal, and most of it's WhatsApp, Signal, some is iMessage, and I'm just Slack. So I have Slack's like definitely more work type thing for me, but when it comes to just general communications, my word, I wish I was just one app instead of 12.
My wife would be in the room, and so my computer goes like a ping, and my wife's like, "You're not gonna answer that?" I'm like, "I haven't quite figured out which chat tool it came from."
Right, yeah, you know.
I'm like, it could be LinkedIn, it could be this, it could be that. I'm like, as soon as I figure it out, I'm gonna go answer.
Yeah.
So if I don't reply to you guys' messages, it's because I don't know where the noise came from.
You don't know where it is.
So I've got a very quick question, which is quite pertinent to Atlassian ecosystem in general right now. So I am the closest to Barcelona out of the 5 of us. So I probably am likely to go to Euroteam, as I'm calling it, #Euroteam. But are the 4 of you looking to make it over?
I'm hoping to. I'm gonna be flying the flag for Trello, hopefully.
Nice.
We are.
I think I've got to do it from a tiny little cupboard, or maybe a toilet cubicle. I'm not sure.
We are looking at feasibility right now. We are looking at feasibility, whether it's even possible, but we're not saying no just yet.
That's good. No, that's nice to hear. B, what about yourself?
I'm probably not going to make it. Funnily enough, like I'm actually flying back from Italy on October 8th. And so in theory, I could potentially make it work.
Around the corner.
But I know, but also like I'm going on a vacation with my partner to Italy and she doesn't travel internationally a lot. And so I feel kind of bad being like, all right, you go home and I'll go on to Italy or I'll go to Spain.
Barcelona.
She doesn't have much PTO. And although I have unlimited PTO, I'm using a good amount this year that I need to probably start being a little more selective. So yeah. But yeah, she doesn't have the PTO for it. Otherwise, I'd strongly consider it. Yeah.
I forgot about this one.
Have you done it? Okay, there we go.
Look at the
What's the status?
It's in the backlog.
See, I can't.
Still in the backlog.
This is why. What am I looking at here? Like, where am I? Backlog. It's in the backlog.
Where's my block status? This is what I need, a block status.
Yeah, like
Alex, you're an admin.
57 buttons
you know
on
how
here.
to add
I don't
it
know
yourself.
what to look at.
Yeah.
But at least we eat our own dog food, so there's that.
It's true. It's true. I'm happy for you all using Jira and us using Trello. In summary, I'm happy for everyone and the tools that they use. And
why can't we all just be friends here?
Exactly. We are all friends, and you use what feels right. And Rodney's got a cat.
I do have a cat. She's telling me we should be done.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's dinner time. It's dinner time and bedtime for our European folks.
It was great chatting with you guys.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah,
Thanks
for having us.
If people in the audience, if you've enjoyed it, definitely subscribe, like, share, do all the normal things. Tune in next week because we're having Ree Kent from the Atlassian certification team talking about the changes to how you renew your certification. So you definitely want to tune in next week.
You don't need to search for Trello.
We'll definitely put the bug in the ear.
Point, dude.
Gotta go mute.
Single one.
As we always say here at the end, we didn't choose the Trello life. The Trello life chose us.
Life chose us.
Not me, though.
Catch you next week.
Cut that bit out.